Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about my work planner for 2022. I've finished setting this up and I'm getting ready to move into my new work planner in the month of December. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to show you my setup, how I plan for work, and then talk a little bit about how I planned for work in 2021. For background, I work in a digital IT type of sphere. I'm a solution architect and I primarily work from home. But when I'm not working from home, I'm on the road. So I'm in a hotel Monday through Thursday in a different state, at a different location, and I don't have a typical desk when I am on the road. And since I do work from home, I have found that having a separate work planner from my main planner has been a really good way for me to sort of give myself some mental space between personal life and work life. There was a point where I could kind of keep everything in one place, and I still don't know how I really functioned doing that. But as I've gotten older, I just need to set some boundaries, and being able to close a notebook on a Friday and put it in a drawer and not think about work is very helpful. I still think about work, and my work stuff still ends up in my main planner because I do kind of need to have some overall visibility. But when it comes down to nitty gritty kind of day-to-day stuff, I like to keep it in a work planner so that it's not looking at me when I'm done for the day. So I guess the last thing to touch on is my work planner is primarily deadlines and tasks, and it is everything that comes in from either a project plan or my Outlook inbox, and I download it onto paper so that I do not lose it, because my email inbox is just like a black hole sometimes, and emails come in, I need to kind of go through them, figure out which ones are actionable, and if I need to do something, I will write it down, and then that way I don't lose it, and I'll flag that email and I can kind of marry them up. I take some notes in my planner, but not a ton. Most of the notes I take are digital. I prefer Microsoft OneNote just because that's what I'm used to, and because I work remotely, I need to be able to export and send off any notes, projects, brainstorming sessions off immediately following a meeting. So most of what I do is digital, but when it comes to keeping track of my tasks, deadlines, and like really important meetings that I need to prep for, my planner is what helps me stay on task and stay accountable. So for 2021, I started the year in a Hobonichi Weeks memo pad, and around June, I moved into a standard size Hobonichi Weeks. This is an April start, and basically how I have used this is in my monthlies, I keep track of project deadlines, really important meetings when I'm on vacation, and holidays. There is a little bit of like goals for the month down the side, but I haven't leveraged that super well. There is a little bit of overlap with my work weeks monthly and my personal weeks monthly, but this is where I'll get into a little bit more detail when it comes to the work stuff. And I will put in when I'm on vacation or when I have an appointment in here, just because this is what's open on my desk during work hours. So somebody was like, can you travel this week? I need to say, okay, no, I'm out of town. And even though it's in my Outlook calendar, I'm just kind of a paper person. So I like to have it on paper at a glance reference. The weeklies are honestly the least utilized portion of my Hobonichi Weeks, and I've been using these primarily as a dashboard for the week. I'm trying to find one that's like semi-filled in and easy to reference, but I have not really found my groove when it comes to these weekly spreads. I guess this one will work. But I do draw a line Monday through Friday in pencil, just like I do in my standard weeks. On the left, I'm doing all day events or like a really important meeting that I need to kind of keep on the horizon, and then any date specific tasks I need to do over here, and then a running list for the week. And these types of things are typically more project focused versus like little things that I need to do. So these are overall projects that I'm in charge of that I need to kind of break down tasks, and I have little keys depending on each project, depending on what I need to do. I do not spend a lot of time here except for when I'm on a meeting call, then I'll kind of have this page open, because typically those are for more of the project type meetings and I need to pull tasks from and kind of work from there. Primarily, how I plan for work, I actually do a vertical in the back. So I'll just kind of like flip through these so you can kind of get a feel. So I draw 6 vertical weeks in the back, and I do Monday through Friday and then a running to-do list for the week. At the top, I will transfer over those like really important meetings that I need to remember. I've got the week number, and then other than that, it's literally just a running list of things that I need to do that come in from email, or maybe I pull from my weekly spread if it was like a project milestone that I need to accomplish by a certain week. Some days I barely need my planner and I'm on the phone all day long, and then other weeks I will have tons written down and I pretty much just do a dot, write the task, and then I will cross it off when I start it and then strike through it when I complete it. And it's pretty simple bullet journal method type of signifiers when it comes to my work planning. I don't pull in a lot of stickers, but this really just helps me not lose things that I need to do. And when something is written down, I feel like I have more of a battle plan when it comes to things I need to track down. So I drew out as many weeks as I need, and I wish I could get this to work in the horizontal weekly, because then I would be saving myself some pages. But I've tried rotating the planner, seeing if I can do a horizontal, maybe someday, but right now this is what's really working for my brain, and I don't have the capacity at work to try and find something new when this isn't quite broken yet. So it's a little bit of a double dipping, but it works for me, so I'm sticking with it. Then in the remaining pages, I just use them as notes and collections. And I mentioned earlier, I primarily do all of my notes digitally. If I am traveling and in a face-to-face meeting with someone, I will write things down. So that's primarily where these notes come from. I was, on site somewhere and I need to jot these notes down, and then I would transfer them digitally. And then otherwise they're collections. So I had a project and I needed to break down every single subtask to accomplish that project. And that's what I'm kind of using these pages for. And then I go ahead and index them. So my work planner is pretty basic. I have a monthly for deadlines, appointments. I have a weekly to break down my projects and project milestones, and then I draw a vertical weekly in the back, which I'm pretty much using as my running to-do list. And if I get an email they asking me to do something, we'll write it down on the date that I need to do that, so that I don't lose any of my tasks. And then in my notes pages, I will do primarily collections or meeting notes if I'm face-to-face with someone and I don't want to pull my computer out. So hopefully that makes sense. So now let me just show you what I've done in my 2022 Hobonichi weeks. This is the Phantom Blue, and I did go with a mega because I knew I wanted to draw out all 52 vertical weeklies for work, because I'll maybe take 3 or 4 weeks of vacation at the absolute most, but I knew I would need a mega to draw out all of these weekly spreads, and I like having some of those extra note pages. So primarily what I have done is in the future log spread, I've marked out using a dark gray mild liner which of these days are holidays, so I have them at a glance, but I'm going to be using this to track my work hours. I do invoice the hours that I work on a daily basis, so I just need to write down how many hours I put in from clock in to clock out, and then I will summarize those up top. So that is how I will plan on utilizing this spread. I'll use my monthly the same way. I will transfer in holidays, my personal travel just for quick reference, and then otherwise it will be project deadlines and like migration dates, because I work with like code development and rollouts and things like that. The weeklies, I have not put any pencil to paper on or anything like that yet, but I will probably use them the same way, as more of like a dashboard and project breakdown space. And then what I've done ahead of time is I started from the back and I will show you why here in a second. But I started from the back and I drew in my vertical weeks. Each of these is about, I think it's 7 spaces wide, and then I end up with like a little bit of extra room on my right hand column and then a couple extra rows on my left hand column to kind of balance it out. But I've done all of these in pencil because if I decide, hey, I'm going to change how I need to use my planner, I could go through and erase it. I did all of these ahead of time though, because I did this for an entire year and it worked. So I just put some YouTube on and drew all of these out. I have all the way through the end of 2022 in here, so all the way through week 52. If this works, I will continue this in Omega for next year, but I was kind of up in the air because I know Tomoe River paper has been discontinued, and Hobonichi said that they're changing their paper for next year, so I just went all the way through December just in case. And then basically what that left me with is 100 notes pages. So my first week starts on page 101. I have currently left the ribbons in here. I typically cut these out, but I think they're a little bit longer this year because I feel like, yeah, they seem longer to me, but I don't know. Typically, I'm not a fan of the ribbon, but when it comes to work, I just like to keep things as simple as possible. I will likely put this in a clear cover just because I do a fair amount of traveling. I don't necessarily want it to get super beat up, but I do not baby my work planners, and I do not use stickers unless it's like a really big deal. Just because I like to kind of keep these pen only so I don't have to worry about pulling out a planner with a ton of stickers at work. So yeah, I loved this ribbon cover. It's a really nice fabric. This is the normal canvas cover, which I like them too, but this one was really soft. So I'm kind of bummed that I can't fit this in a standard weeks, but I just know I'm going to need the room of the Mega. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys to see how I plan for work. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below. If you've made it this long, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.